$1,000 to fix it. Never.
The new one, yeah.
I'll wait till the season's over and they start putting them on sale.
Ouch. What's wrong with it?
Well, the whole thing that makes it for things spin, crank. It was the crank. Yeah, it was like the crank motor or something. They said. I don't.
Wouldn't you just get a
I
new
don't
one
trust
for
any
that?
mechanics anyway. What?
Wouldn't you just get a new one?
At that point, well, they pretty much said that
morning, everyone. This is the Syracuse Board of Assessment Review. This morning is Thursday, February 8th, and I just wanted to make a note. I was reminded yesterday, and these meetings are recorded, and just to make you aware. I guess my question is, because we take them as appointments, do I got to remind everybody as they speak, or is it good enough to? Yeah.
No, it is sufficient that the Board of Assessment Review is aware that these are being televised, and it's in conformance with open meetings law. Just for your own edification, these hearings are being recorded.
Yep.
Just like any common council meeting, except I don't think these are the common councilors.
Right.
At least
We play them on the weekends.
just like common council meetings, this is live streamed.
That's all right.
And so, again, just to clarify the clarification, as long as I announce it when I'm opening up the meeting, I don't have to repeat it for the rest of, or do I? Oh. So it's not something that I have to announce at the beginning of each meeting? Okay. Okay, sounds good, thank you very much. Okay, you are here for your house?
Yes.
Yes, 624 Sedgwick Drive. So let me swear you in if I could raise your right hand. State your name for the record.
David A. Sharon.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes.
So, this will be number 1 on our list, which is the first one, 624 Sedgwick Drive. Let me just read a few things into the record, and then okay, so we've got 624 Sedgwick Drive. It's a one-family residence. Current tentative assessment, I believe, is $115,000. Which would make the full market value $184,000. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $81,000 with an equatable assessed value of $50,620. Now, before you start, you're going to laugh at this a little bit. So now you live on the corner.
I live right next door to the property.
Okay. There's a few in there that I've had my eye on because nobody has done much with
Right.
them.
Yeah, this would be one of them.
Okay, but if you're on the corner, I think there's a few down. One's owned by a church or something, I think.
That one just sold last year, I believe.
Okay.
It's owner occupied now, and was vacant for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Yeah, I think the church bought
Right,
it with
yes.
the intent of somebody
Right.
living there, the pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you're on the corner and you bought the one right behind you.
Right.
Which is on Sedgwick Drive. Is your address Scheck?
No, I'm 618 Sedgwick.
Okay, all right, okay. So, very good. I turn it over to you. Tom, can I just confirm the land value?
21,000.
And then if I could just pick here, obviously it was a recent purchase. So you purchased 12/21 of 23 for 81,000 cash deal, no mortgage?
No.
Okay, and no relationship
No.
with the homeowner. Touch on that a little bit, just because you're right next door, and then I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, well, I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember the Ed Guth Hobby Shop, but Ed Guth and his wife lived there for years. And when we first moved in 1980, this place was like Better Homes and Gardens. I mean, everything was immaculate. And then Ed passed away at one point, I think in 1992. His wife stayed on at the property. She came down with Alzheimer's. Nobody was really keeping up the property. I had cut the lawn forever because nobody else would cut it, and Mrs. Guth was always good to us. So she passes away. Her son, who has a home in Maryland, he was living in Maryland. When she was sick, he'd come back periodically. Eventually, she passes away. He still lives in Maryland, but was coming back and forth. For about 17 years, we've maintained the property. I've cut bushes, I've planted trees, I've cut down trees. But in the last couple of years, it's been totally vacant. And the house is dilapidated. And back in sometime in the winter of 2020 to 2021, in the spring, we discovered water coming out of the back of the house, and it turns out that a pipe burst during the winter. Don't know how long the water was running, but the house sustained serious water damage as a result of that. And all the floors, the first floor, hardwoods, they had cherry cabinets that got ruined. And on top of it, the kitchen was built in an addition. And again, because of neglect, there's still a hole in the roof in the addition part in the kitchen that had gone unattended, and the water was just draining into the house. So, and plus, he was a pack rat. I mean, there was a path to walk into this place. So he ends up with Alzheimer's now, and so then his cousin becomes guardian and takes care of him, and they say, we want to sell the house. They know I've maintained the outside forever, and we had expressed interest, saying if you're ever going to sell, let us know. So long story short, they bring somebody in just this summer. So when the water break was discovered, I had the city shut the water off outside. Right now, there's no water in the house. There's electricity, but the furnace isn't operable. And long story short, they took all the junk that was in the house and got rid of that. There was a severe mold problem, primarily in the addition, the kitchen area. And they were going to mitigate that, but I told them, if you're going to buy the property, there's no point, because what we're looking to do, my wife and I have lived in the city all our lives and don't want to leave. But our basement, our laundry is in the basement, the sleeping quarters are on the second floor, the shower is on the second floor. We bought this with the intention of building an addition onto our house so that we could have laundry, master bedroom, anything we need to live on the first floor. It was, we quote unquote age in place. So that's why we bought it.
Yeah.
And what we don't know at this point is, right now it's gutted. When they finally moved the stuff out, we closed on the property, and there was so much still, nobody had taken care of the mold or any of the water damage. So we tore out the floors, we tore out the cherry cabinets, everything right down to the studs.
Okay, so are you looking to, if you're, then you're not planning on knocking down the structure? I know it's all city and all that good stuff, but I mean, if you're gutting down to the studs, sounds like you would be remodeling as opposed to. So what would you do there? Combine the lots, attempt to?
We're looking at two different things. The contractor initially suggested he wanted to take advantage of utilizing the existing foundation of the property. We tear off, and I've got photos if you need them, but we tear off the back addition where the kitchen was because it's all rotted and mold. He was talking about taking off the existing garage, which is the floor is sunken in, and then building a new garage into what is currently the living room and then the dining room, and then building an addition from my house to this house where we'd actually capture, the extra living quarters. That's one option, but it's the other option we're looking at now. We're looking to get plans drawn up both ways to cost it out, but the other option is to put it on the ground, because we're somewhat limited by what we can do in trying to utilize the existing structure.
Right.
In our addition, we're only looking for a one-story addition. We don't need to go up two-story. I don't need any more living space on the second floor. We need the space on the first floor.
That's awesome. God bless you. How old are you?
70.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, I guess
Go
myself.
build on a nice hill somewhere.
I'm 70, my wife is 74, and she would move out of the city in a heartbeat, and I've lived here all my life.
I know.
So,
No,
and I'm not
you're-
going anywhere.
You're great for the neighborhood, and full disclosure, did some, I think you knew my father
Yep,
and,
yep.
and real estate business
Yep.
way back in the day, and Dave's been a great person for the city for many, many years, and a neighbor. So, all right, so I'm assuming we're talking about an unfinished scenario for this is Tom Johnson.
And in keeping with full disclosure, I've known the petitioner for a number of years, kind of a dubious character, but.
Well, all right, so we know the same guy then, all right.
And ordinarily, it was an administrator's deed, and ordinarily we kick those out, but I'm sure I'll see the pictures and knowing the condition of the
Yeah,
property.
I've got 'em.
Yeah, why don't you let,
I'd be willing to go at that as an accurate sales price and give him an unfinished assessment, knowing that I'm going to raise the assessment to $1 million when he's done.
yes, at least.
Yeah,
And so, just speaking about that for a second, so the unfinished is put on generally for a year.
Yep.
With the intent that the person's getting right to it and,
Yep.
All that
Yeah.
good stuff. So what is your time frame?
We're looking to get it done this year.
Okay, so you're,
Yeah.
and I know you gutted it and you're right into it and all
Yeah,
that good
I've
stuff.
I've got a meeting with the city on Monday to talk about what I need to do to pursue this, and they don't want to combine, or apparently they can't combine the lots as long as there's a house in each property. So, and if we pick the
you're
option,
gonna
if we pick that, what's that?
Even though you're gonna.
I don't know. That's what
adjoin-
I'm going to meet with them about. Because one way or the other, if we end up utilizing the existing structure, then, I'm going to need a waiver or something to attach and put the new addition on, okay? But we'd have much more flexibility, of course, if we put the thing on the ground, which, I mean, at that point, it's an awful expensive lot, but I mean, as it is, we want to get it done.
Yes.
My wife keeps saying that, we're going to get this done before I die, right? So,
Right, and, so, no, I agree, so then you can enjoy it, and, I know with the existing house, certainly, difficult with stairs and
Yes.
all that good stuff, so, it could be a blessing in disguise as far as, it transpired and the purchase, and, good.
Yeah.
Who's the contract?
Anthony Dubar, I forgot the name of his company, but he's a friend of mine. He's a postal inspector, but he's built houses forever. And he lives out in just inside Camillus by Marcellus, but he's rehabbed commercial properties out in Marcellus, and he's getting ready to retire, and he knows what
This
he's
will be
doing.
a nice little project
Yeah.
for him.
Oh yeah.
and once the work is done, reassess it, we'll give them an exemption.
On the
They
improvements.
just have to decide whether we can go with the 485J or the 485O, because the 485O is really for abandoned houses, but looking at these pictures, it's abandoned to me, but I'd have to get the okay, and that's a little bit better exemption.
All right, so just to understand where everybody's coming from, well, really, Tom, the purchase price, again, was $81,000. So, Tom, what you're suggesting is that there's an unfinished assessment put on it for a year
Right.
at the $81,000 figure purchase price.
And then rounded, so it's not, 50,600 something.
Oh,
Make it
no,
a
as
flat-
far as the,
Yeah,
right,
make
so
it a
what
flat
is,
51.
yeah, I got you. So, I'm suggesting 50,000,
That's okay.
assessed value. In other words, at 81,000, your purchase, assessed value would be 50,625. So you're
Go
suggesting
to 50,000 or 51.
50 or
That's the board's
51,
discretion.
actually, yeah, because it's a little, all right, so we'll talk about it. It'll be either 50 or 51
Yeah.
assessed value, and the city will send you a
And
notice
$1.5
first week of
million.
April. I'm sorry.
And $1.5 million thereafter.
Yes, everyone get ready. Your wife, she doesn't want to die,
Yeah,
but she
right.
may after she gets his new
Well,
assessment.
that's the other thing, we don't need a palace, and that's, because if we keep the existing structure, you've got the upstairs, which essentially would just be storage, I mean, we wouldn't be using it in the new house.
No, it's really cool. I'm really interested to see how the connection works out.
Yeah,
You know, because that'll be really unique for the area.
yeah. If we go aesthetically, I mean, I think we can do it, if combining the two, I think it'll look good, but it'd probably be a lot cleaner if ultimately we go the other way and we just take that down and put a brand new addition on. We'll see what happens. We're gonna cost it out both ways.
Yeah, the city may give some pushback as far as removing the foundation, and so that's where you're going to
Yeah.
have to make a decision.
Right, yeah,
And/or if you, not that you, I don't know what's worth more, you know, combined or separate.
yeah,
You know, in the future.
yeah.
But
It's
that'll be somebody else's problem.
It'll be an adventure, I know that. It's,
Yeah.
I really had a lot of hesitation about taking this on, but it's, you know, this way we still stay in the city. If my wife can get this, I think I won't have to hear about let's move it.
Yeah, no, that's good. Good for you. No, that's really nice. Yes, exactly. Happy wife.
Yeah, like, I was just gonna say that.
Does the board want these, or can I have? You have,
That's a duplicate, you may have one.
Yeah,
do you want them? I want to keep them in the file so I can
please do.
show what.
No, we're all set
Yep.
here. Yep, no problem. I'm just gonna make a note here on what we said. And then, then we'll talk about it. Like I said, it'll either be 50 or 51.
Okay, all right.
Good
Thank
to
you.
see you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Nice seeing you guys. Thank you
Good
very
luck.
much.
I'm sure I'll
Yeah.
walk past your
Yeah.
renovation and see you out there.
Yep.
Pay them a consulting fee.
That's right, that's right. I'll check your mailbox on Saturday.
Take care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta make a note here. Mike, how are you? Yeah. How are you? Good, thanks. Good.
Warner?
Yeah. I was outside of Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Let's make that clear. During the day, anyway.
Business on the way.
You didn't bring your clubs?
Oh, all right. Well, it was business. I just wanted to, everybody got that noted, 50 or 51,000. Yeah. Whoever has 732 Butternut Street, we're just gonna wait for the assessor. He'll be right back up. Just had to get something that he forgot. Saw your name, I remember you from probably 40 years ago. I'm Joe Saya. Oh, my God. Nice to see you. My God, we used to chat. Yes, yes. Well, that was my uncles, Nick and Joe, and my grandfather. That was my Uncle Joe. Yep. Yeah, still kicking, but that really affected.
That's what the greatest, I go over there, they bang on it, never charge me nothing.
Yep. Great guys. They're still. They were out on Lake Ontario, and then they sold that a couple 3 years ago, and I think they're in Baldwinsville. No, they're pretty. They're retired. And my father ran the real estate. He passed away in 2020. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. Well, good to see you. Yeah, I remember your voice. Tom should be up a couple. Oh, yes.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right.
I was telling these guys, my flowers are starting to come out, so
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about that.
Yeah.
I know I have one pool, and I have 3 dogs, so I like try to yell before I open the door at night.
Yeah.
They're good chasers. I have a Cocker Spaniel, it's a
scared.
hunter, so.
I won't be able to.
Even with the bread.
That's
the way it goes. Yeah, right.
Steve, have a seat, and I'm just going to swear you in, and then I'll read some stuff into the record, and then I'll turn it over to you. When I remember, I'll remind people, but these meetings are being recorded and videoed, so just so you're aware, and yourself as well. Okay, so you're here for one property, 732-34 Butternut Street. Let me swear you in. If you could raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Yes.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay. Once again, 732 Butternut Street. So this is a commercial building. It looks like the tentative current assessment, $45,000 with a land value of $16,500. That would bring the, got it, 732-34. Yeah, so the city has it assessed at $45,000, which would be $72,000. Commissioner believes that the fair market value is $30,000, which would be an assessed value of $18,750. All right, and Steve, let me just turn this over for a minute. Says date of purchase 29,000, so that's what you purchased it for. And when was that?
41 years ago. The only one left up there. I bought the lot next to the building. And First, I dealt with the La Cantina for 20 years, old drunks in the morning, hitting the building, backing in the cars. Luckily, that's what I do for a living, repair them. And then they sold it to this place called Cougars, which finally, after multiple stabbings and shootings, was closed down by the police. I mean, people were literally killed in there. Like, I go up there now, you got heroin addicts and hypodermic needles all the way down the driveway. It's just disgusting. There's nobody left.
Yep.
Across the street, next door, I'm the only guy left, and an Alcoholics Anonymous chapter's been renting the building for 41 years, and I've never raised the rent. And to me, it's just the principle, like, I don't want a huge reduction, just maybe 10%. I recently retired, I'm on a very fixed income. I've always paid my water bill, sewer bill, trash bill, tax bill. I mean, it's just overwhelming sometimes.
All right, so, let me just ask a couple questions. Yeah, going back to the other one was not that was a new situation, no increase. Was this increase of assessment, or just is he coming in on his own?
I think it was increased for by $10,000 for the year, 2020.
Okay, all right. So you got an increase, is that would, okay.
Yeah.
All right, and it's currently rented
Yes.
by the Alcoholics Anonymous?
Yep.
And they've been there for a long time?
41 years. I've never raised the rent.
And what is the rent?
$650.
Okay. And what, just refresh me on the building, size-wise. It's like a long structure.
Long, narrow building,
Yeah.
right, yeah. They're in the front, the guys in the back. I used to have my shop, and there's a two-car garage, you know.
Okay, so there's the narrow building and then a two-car garage in the back. The garage is your space, has nothing to do with AA. And inside the building, just, I don't think I've ever been in there.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I was in there, it's just a carpeted big room, and the guys have a long, narrow table, and they meet several times a day. I'm not sure. They all smoke cigarettes, so I can't go in there. I can't see their cigarettes. And last time I poked my head in, everything, you know, like a nice carpet like this and just white walls. And they have 2 bathrooms in the back, men and women. And
Do
then-
they maintain the interior?
Yes, they
Okay.
do, yeah. And they had, I used to get $800 water bills once upon a time because so many people urinated and flushed the toilets. And now they put in water savers, so now the last bill was $300, you know, so I'm like, it's a little bit better, but
Okay, all right. So you're, yeah. And I'm assuming they pay the utilities?
for the front, but I pay in the back. I still have my little spot back there and get Niagara Mohawk and stuff like that.
The
insurance-
garage is heated?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heat it.
okay, okay.
And my insurance, they recently didn't even want to insure me. They, in Allstate, they just said that neighborhood's so bad, I pay $169 a month for insurance on the place, you know, and they keep threatening to cancel me and this and that, and I'm like, well, nothing I can do. If they do, they do.
Yep. You don't owe anything on the building, all free and clear
Everything's-
and everything?
Yeah, and that's the 3rd roof on the building a few years ago, so.
Did any thoughts of selling the property?
Worthless as far as I'm concerned. I mean, no one, what would you do
Not
with
worth
it?
much,
Yeah.
probably. On the, well, you know, that remains to be seen, but okay.
The neighborhood, let's be real,
Yeah.
it's really gone down the tubes. I've been there so long. First went there, it was all Italians, nice people. Now it's all mixed races. And no, I have no issue with it, but it sure isn't what it used to be.
Absolutely. Tom, any thoughts? I know there was an increase.
We look at sales, I look at sales with similarly classified properties, and that's why it was raised. It's not totally accurate that the neighborhood has totally gone downhill, because Housing Visions has invested millions of dollars in property renovation along Butternut Street corridor.
You show me where, there's nobody left. There's nobody
There are
left.
people left there.
I
So don't say
disagree
it.
with you.
Don't say it. I'm up and down that street on a regular basis.
Who's
So
left?
don't-
Where can I go?
There's a lot of development going down on the near north side, up and down Butternut Street. We think the property is fairly assessed.
The, thank God for St. Joe's and,
Right, the hospital's
everything
there.
that they do, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the bakeries are gone, all the little businesses.
Oh, yeah, no, I
Community bakery. I
understand.
used to love to go up there and get a loaf of bread. Can't even get a cup of coffee.
It's definitely tremendously changed from, back when.
Oh, and I just
We
think
were
I've
down
done my
there.
part for 41 years. I've paid every single bill in the world. I'm not asking for anything crazy. Maybe a 10% reduction just because I'm retired now and I just don't have the income. I lost money on it for years,
Sure. No, based on your expenses versus what you're collecting, that's for darn sure. Okay, so just making some notes here. Tom, when was this, the last time this was looked at? Any thoughts? Probably wasn't.
Well, now, outside of not doing an interior inspection,
No, that's where
No,
I wasn't going. From an assessment standpoint, it was raised 10,000.
this year,
yeah.
I go out and I look at every property that I reassess.
Right. And, but prior to that, it's been
Years.
what it's been for a long time, okay.
And I bought the lot next door, now all I have to do is pay someone to mow the lawn and pick up trash.
Yeah.
People literally defecate in my driveway. And you go in my driveway, there's hundreds of needles in there from people shooting up. I'm like, what? Don't the police do any patrolling there and crack down on
Well,
that?
they do, but they're it's an importance thing and, shootings.
I
and-
live in Fayetteville. I'm just not used to that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Just
no,
to me,
you-
it's challenging.
You wouldn't be if you live in Fayetteville. All right, so, the city does neighborhood reviews. They, increased it, by 10,000 assessed value-wise. It takes some solace in the fact that, it hasn't been touched for a long time. But let's, Tom has supplied some comps, and, but, we're aware of the situation there, so we'll take a close look at it.
If the board wants to take his recommendation of a 10% decrease in the assessment, I can go along with that.
I really would appreciate
So, 10% in the, off of the current proposed assessed value of,
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one.
45,000.
45.
Okay, so it was 35 for a long time and then raised to 45. Okay. And that's not necessarily what we're gonna do, as a 5-person board, but just so you understand, the assessor's recommending, the assessor's in agreement with your suggestion of 10% reduction in the current proposed, which is not the 35, but the 45,000, the increase. Okay. But we'll talk, somebody's got that noted. Okay, anything else you want to add?
No, that's about
Well, listen, great to see you.
it. Yeah, no, say hi to your.
I will definitely tell them, I see them periodically.
I still
and
got that hood above my stove. tell them.
That is outstanding.
Yeah.
Great to see you, good
Yeah,
luck.
you guys have a nice afternoon.
You too, you too.
2525, James, was that rescheduled or no show? Thank you.
I'm good with this, thank you very much. If you, well, I guess if you wanted to give, I hate to just the way we got it set up, and I do like the. Yeah, I certainly you want me to make that a process going forward in the beginning. Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. Okay, 220 Schubert Ave? Yeah. Okay. I'll just have a seat here.
Trouble. Just after listening to what you guys were saying, I'm probably the only one in this courtroom who wants it to snow.
Oh, really? Okay.
I pray for,
There's another one right
Well-
back there.
I pray for snow every day.
Do you? Well, based on that, you might as well just take those papers right there. Drop them in the pail.
That's
Our
what I-
decision has
That's
been
what I
made.
thought. I felt very uncomfortable when you guys were saying, oh, the weather's getting nicer, and I'm like, I don't fit in here.
Well, so I assume you ski or,
Yeah, I'm a first responder at a ski mountain,
okay.
so,
Which mountain?
Labrador.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, no, listen,
I like the snow too.
Do you?
You know, yes.
You were just afraid to say anything, right?
I like the change of seasons.
Yeah.
I don't mind some snow. The last 4 winters, including this one, because I've been keeping track,
Yeah.
have been awesome.
Yeah,
For me.
you've gotta, I mean, this winter's, I can't remember it ever being so mild,
Absolutely.
you know?
This has been the most mild, I think, of the last 4. Again, if you snowmobile and you ski, you know, what's that?
The cold, I don't like the
Yeah,
cold.
no, and I expect that obviously we're gonna get some, but no, I think what have we had, like 20 inches of snow?
Yeah, it's very low. We have a lot of snow at the mountain because they make snow, you know, but people here in Syracuse go, I can't ski, there's no snow. And there is snow if you really want to ski for the hard, you know, the hard-nosed people that want to ski. So that's kind of a cool thing.
The last question, then we'll get started. I haven't been paying too much attention as far as the ski resorts are concerned. Have you been closed, or have they made enough snow?
No, they're
that-
open, they're open.
I know they're open right now, but has there been a lag, or you've been
They
open straight?
open the whole time.
Okay.
Their school or ski areas make their money 2 ways. They make their money on school groups and ski races. You know, a lot of people don't understand how ski mountains work. So when you do this contracts with the ski clubs like Liverpool and Baldwinsville and Fayetteville, Manlius, you have to give them so many hours. Otherwise, you give them money back, and the owner of the guy who owns Lab in Song doesn't want to give any money back. So what he'd have to do is stay open later, you know, and he likes to leave in March and go to Florida, I'm sure, to do it. So, so that's why he, you know, it's a responsibility. He owes it to these people that you have to offer it to them, even if they don't come. So it's, you know, it's just one.
Making snow type thing.
Yeah, they make a lot of snow, which plays into what I do, because it's man-made snow is what causes accidents. It's like skiing in wet cement. So when there's just man-made snow, there's accidents all over the place to do that. So yeah, it is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah. See,
I just recently heard that there's more potential to get hurt with the.
it's a lot more
man-made,
potential
yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
it's like regular snow is forgiving and you know
Right,
to do that, but the other way is just
hard,
no good for anything.
yeah.
Yeah, it just goes down. And
Just
then
goes
it's
down, and you
packed
can ski, but you have to be a more proficient skier to ski in that stuff. And today, you get people who think they're better than they are, and that causes more accidents, and then, you know, more business for
Keeps you
upstate,
busier, yeah.
more upstate for upstate, or more business for upstate. To do that, and now you can help me, because this is uncharted territory for me. I've never done this before.
Well, no problem.
I've been researching a little bit, and I understand that and I don't want anything that I don't have coming to me. I'm not trying to grind anybody down. I'm trying to understand it.
Right, so I'm going to swear you in, and
Oh, okay,
and then
sure.
we'll,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we'll get into it, but no problem. Tom, do you mind getting sworn in also?
He looks like a pretty honest
I
guy to
think-
me.
Yeah, no, it's not, I think we're going to start that in the beginning, so just a process. But, so if you could state your name for the record?
Frank Wachowski.
And
Tom Johnson.
Okay. Do you both swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Do.
Okay, great, thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, so this is 220 Seward Ave.
I want to make a correction that there was a thing on upgrading my house, and I redid my kitchen a couple of years ago, and I put, it was 25 grand. It was more like 10 grand. I made a mistake. I don't know why I said that, but.
All right, we'll make an adjustment
Yeah.
here and here. So, this is a single-family residence and you live there?
Correct.
Okay, let me just read some numbers into the record.
Okay.
Once again, 220 Seward Ave, one-family house. So as far as numbers are concerned, we've got a current tentative assessment of 105,000, with a land value of 6,900. That would bring the market value to 168,000. Petitioner believes that the fair market value is 145,000, which would be an assessed value of 90,625. So let me just turn over. So you paid 105,000 in 2014. and-
Actually, I bought the house in 2088, but I had some problems that I lost the house. Went to the land bank, and I rebought it
Oh,
to
okay.
do it. And it was just a psychological, mental breakdown that I had, that I worked like 70 hours a week and kind of lost track. My taxes were taken out of my mortgage, and then once that happened, I sort of got behind. And
You got behind on what, the mortgage
on the
payment?
taxes, no, the house has been paid for a long time. The taxes, I had trouble
Oh,
with
I
taxes.
see.
So the city seized the property,
Okay.
threw me out.
So you,
What?
so you paid it off? and-
Well, I didn't
but-
have to pay it off, I had to pay the taxes off.
Right.
Right,
Right. But my point is that the taxes were in your mortgage payment.
correct. So I
and
never
then
had to
when
worry
you
about
paid
that.
the property
Correct.
off,
That's right.
you just didn't
Right. Well,
think about.
whatever it was, I worked in New York City, and I traveled back and forth to Syracuse, and it's my stupidity. I'm not trying to saying that I just got so behind that I just got into this funk and till they took the house away, and I had to live in a
It
motel.
takes some time for them to act.
No, I know that. I was a bad guy in this, I know. So I luckily have some very good friends who stood by me and dealt with the land bank and helped me out, and, you know. And
'Cause they don't
now,
want property.
now my taxes are paid. The day I get the letter, I come to City Hall and pay them. You can ask Donna downstairs. I'm the first guy to pay the taxes. I can't wait to pay them.
Let me just repeat then, you said the kitchen was $10,000?
Yes. Mhm.
So I crossed out the 25,000.
Thank you. I don't even know if that means anything, because I don't fully understand this process, but
Well,
hopefully,
it's
I can be, when I leave here, at least I'll be educated.
Yeah, it gives us as much information as possible to make an informed decision.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the house.
It's a house I've lived in for 40 years. They haven't put a lot of money into it, but it's dated. I've got to do the bathrooms. I haven't done those yet. But now I'm retired from my job, other than my job at the ski mountain, and that's a volunteer job. It's not a money job. That's it. The thing that bothers me is that, and I know this doesn't have an effect on it. The reason I don't want to live outside the city. I happen to like living in the city, even though it gets scarier and scarier and scarier. I am in the process of buying a gun. When I got out of the military in 1972, I handed them my guns back and said, I don't want to ever own a gun again. All my friends in the city had bought guns, and they said, you're stupid not to have a gun. So I'm in the process of getting a gun, which is really kind of it's unnerving for me. The day I was here to file for this, in the assessor's office, there was a car parked illegally right next to the front door of the building. The radio was blasting, blacked out windows. On the side of the car, it said, my my rules, my laws. And I don't know if you know what that means, but it's like there's white law and black law. And no license plate at all in the car, right in front of City Hall, and took off. That's just an example. As I looked at it and I said, you know what, just one more example of how unsafe the city is. And a lot of the condos that I live in have been sold and rented out. So if you drive by there in the summer, the grass is this high because people don't mow the lawn, they pay the thing. So I have it's an upward battle to try to get the neighbors. I call, and some of the good neighbors call all the time, please cite them, the code thing, please cite them, please cite them. Well, the grass has got to be 8 inches tall or something. It's like, and I'm not planning on moving from the city because it's one thing good about the city is I happen to like city living, and a lot of friends of mine live in Sedgwick, which is right across the street. And it's easy to get to everything. So there's a lot of good things about the city to do it. You know what I mean? I don't want anything for free.
Let me just ask if I could interrupt. Was this an increase?
It was reassessed back in '22.
Okay.
The whole area.
Yeah, that's why I had to get my 22 taxes. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's when I was working, and I made way too much money.
So, what's the exemption situation? Is that where he was going there? How old are you?
76.
Does he have the enhanced or?
I'm not showing any exemptions on here, but he might be eligible for the enhanced.
I've actually applied for the star. Okay, I've done that, to do that. And then someone told me that because I'm a senior citizen, there's a discount for that. I'm a veteran, to do that. And I've had even bad luck with veterans things. When I went to the Veterans Administration and asked for something, they said I made too much money, that I didn't qualify for anything. And I was shocked. I was like, just because I didn't go to war, I didn't.
But things are different now, right?
No, this was last year.
But didn't you say you're retired from?
I'm retired from working, so my Social Security is whatever that is. Okay.
So did you apply prior while you were working is what I'm getting at?
No.
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 So did you retired
Right.
and then you applied
Correct.
for these things and
Correct.
you were still
Right.
making
Now
too
I'm on
much money?
the old line, I'm on a fixed income.
Yes.
So I'm trying to, and with inflation the way it is, I'm just trying to be prudent about this.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean?
given that, is that something he should discuss downstairs? So before you leave, you should go downstairs to room 130
Okay,
and just tell him your situation.
right.
And you're wondering if you qualify for any exemptions,
She
whether,
when I asked her that, she told me to come back in July. Because in July, that's when there's something in July that they do.
Well, the role changes become effective July 1st. But
Yeah,
I think you should stop
Yeah,
down there before
but
you
if
leave.
it's a late filing, the board, if he qualifies, the board has the right to add that exemption onto the
I do.
property effective July 1st.
and what exactly am I telling her then?
Well,
Senior citizens and veterans exemption, because it's based on time of service, not your income on veterans.
Right.
So you would need your DD 214.
Got it right here.
Okay.
okay, you should go downstairs then. Just tell him that, look, I don't have any, when did you apply for the basic star?
A week ago.
Okay, all right. So I think you should go downstairs, say, hey, I applied for the basic star. I just want to know if I'm qualified for enhanced star, veterans exemption, senior citizens exemption.
Okay.
Okay, very
Yeah,
important.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah, room 130.
Yeah, I'm,
That has nothing to do with what we're doing.
right.
But that could
It doesn't,
further.
it doesn't.
Well, yeah, not directly,
Right.
but indirectly.
Okay, that's, sounds good.
Qualify for the enhanced star, we don't have to hear your income. It can't exceed 98.4.
All your life, you try to make as much as you can, and then they tell you you make too much money.
Well, if you're doing more than that, you're in good shape and no problem.
Well, that's when I was working.
Right, no, I'm saying, everything is about now.
Yeah,
So if you're under that
yeah, so
now-
I should be fine with that.
Yeah.
I should be fine with that. That's a thing, and but getting back to this with the
Yeah.
assessment thing,
Yeah, we got a couple minutes left,
okay,
but,
okay. When they, so they raised the assessment in '22? Was that the $900 assessment rate? Okay. And when is the next time that they will raise it?
This, the board doesn't reduce it, you would see an increase in your tax bill on the city and school bill July 1st, and then January 1 of 2025 for the county.
Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, all right.
I guess I'm a little confused. The assessment was raised in
I'm sorry,
2022.
Those increases have already taken effect.
Okay,
Right. So whatever you're paying now is what, you're gonna be paying,
okay,
okay?
all right,
Based on what the raise was in 2022.
right, okay.
Again, we're looking at your current situation of the assessed value at 105, 2014. Okay. Is there, just in the time we have left, is there anything, just to confirm, you said that you put about $10,000 into your kitchen?
Yeah.
When was that done?
About 3 years ago.
But baths,
Baths are nice, but they're old, they're just
Yeah,
really
it's just
old, and
basically
now that
old
I'm
and-
retired, I want to redo them.
yeah.
But you know what, trying to get someone to do it,
Oh, yeah,
that's the most difficult thing.
It's another issue.
That's another issue that I'm dealing with right now, but I'm on somebody's, list to get to me.
Yep,
You know, but they've already put me off 8 months, so very frustrating.
Well, the good ones will
Yeah, they're busy.
do that, so
Right.
you gotta,
No, right.
we
That's
all
it.
have to deal with that. But, okay, I think we have a nice picture of what you have said. Anybody else have any other questions or anything else you want to add? Okay. Anything you want to say in
The last thing I
closing?
want to say is, anybody that wants to come skiing, I will be glad to give you as many passes as you want for Labrador.
All right, well, that sounds
And it's
good.
not a bribe, it's just get you out to the,
That's very nice of you. I don't think the owner, you won't be volunteering
no,
anymore
but
after
we get,
that.
we get so many, we get a lot of passes. Because not only are we first responders, but we're also goodwill for the ski mountain. To be able to
that's-
take it out there and come on and be our guest and,
I wish I did, I've bombed down the mountain a few times, and I'm more of the, have a drink in front of the lodge. That's where you'll find me.
yeah.
So I'll buy you a drink when you come in after
Yep,
seeing
I'll give you a
somebody.
free pass for that.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It was a lot less painful than I thought it was gonna be.
No, no
I told
problem.
you, only 2 of them bite.
Yeah.
The city will send you a notice
Oh.
first.
Is that mine? Oh, I thought you were-
The city will send you a
You were the
notice first week of
76ers,
April.
weren't you?
Yes,
And Brigadiers?
yeah.
And I marched with the Brigadiers,
Really?
and I go to Cathedral, I remember seeing you.
Oh, yeah, and it was an usher there. In fact, I still am an usher once in a while.
Okay.
But anyways, thank you
There's
very
the
much.
brotherhood
problem.
still stays.
Wow.
The brotherhood, once a brigadier, always a brigadier.
Oh, yeah, right. My father was a brigadier too. So, but anyways, thank you very much.
I just wanted you to know, the city will send you a notice the first week of April with what the decision was. Okay?
Good, thank you.
Good luck.
Take care.
Oh, yeah, room 130. Everybody good? So the next properties, there's 3 of them. Graves, Grumbach, and Second. Yeah, if you want to come up and have a seat.
Which one is this?
Um,
Graves?
There's Graves, Grumbach, and Second North Street. Yeah, we'll get another chair, no problem. Good morning.
Good
How is
morning.
everybody? How are you?
This
Hello,
is
Joe.
first time doing
How you
this.
doing?
Good, this in your building, with
Yes, I remember.
Salt City, but they were gracious enough to let me come in through the door, thank God.
To the front?
Yeah,
Yes, good, good. No, I'm glad.
Here, go on the other side. Just go on the side, because I'll get lots of paperwork.
Sometimes when we're not there, we try to control the traffic by coming through the
Oh, I
back.
bet.
But yeah. How you doing?
Good.
And they did it in a timely manner, but they forgot, they lost my phone number.
Oh, but they had
Gotta
it done?
get this closed up.
Good, good. So let me just, I'm gonna swear everybody in. But let me just ask, is there, there's 3 properties here. Is there any particular order that you want to do them
I
in?
think the easiest one, maybe we'll start with Graves because it's a burnout and it's an open and close case on that.
Okay, and then we have Grumbach and Second North.
Yeah, that order, yeah.
That order?
I think that would be good.
All right, excellent. Let me just make a couple notes here, and then we'll swear you in. And okay, if you could just raise your right hands, because I assume everybody's going to speak. Just state your name for the record.
Aaron Thomas,
William Scott Thomas.
You all swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay, great. All right, so let me just, I'm going to read them in one at a time just because they are completely separate scenarios. I'll read in some numbers and then I'll turn it over to you. We'll talk about 107 Grave Street first. So what we have is, it's a 2-family dwelling, and we've got a current tentative assessment of $40,000 with a land value of $6,100. That would be an assessed value of $64,000. I'm sorry, a market value of $64,000. Petitioner believes that the fair market value is $20,000, which is an equatable assessed value of $12,500. Just a couple of notes. It says 2 fires, fire damage.
2 major fires.
Okay, let me just say a couple more things here, and then I'll turn it over to you. So it looks like it was purchased for $15,000 in 2003, cash deal, and I think the main. So when did the fire take place?
We've had 2 major arson fires, one on January 10th of 2023 and one on 6/24 of 2023. And
All right, so was it unoccupied prior to, or what's
it was
happened?
occupied. It was occupied during the first fire. Somebody started a fire in the attic, and it destroyed the back portion of the second floor.
Okay, non-tenant related, it was just,
It was
we don't know.
It was non-tenant related. Somebody else started broke in the house. And then when the place was boarded up, we had another major fire on the first floor of the front of the house. Somebody broke in when it was boarded up and started another arson fire. So the place is pretty much destroyed all throughout now on both apartments.
Currently vacant.
Yeah, currently it's vacant and boarded up. And
After the first fire, did the tenant move out?
yeah, the place became
Vacant, uninhabitable.
uninhabitable. Yeah.
Okay. And
condemned.
so now we got a vacant place, and somebody goes in and starts another fire.
Yep.
All right,
And
so
so
current
pretty much
go ahead.
Both apartments now are pretty much destroyed, upstairs and downstairs because of the 2 fires where they were.
All right, so that happened in, last of which was June of 23. So last year, so what's transpired since?
Well, I was about to start working on the house, and then we had the second arson fire, and now it's pretty much past the point that I could repair it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to sell it as is. There's nothing I can do to repair it. It's just that the amount of money that I would have to put into it is just too major.
Okay, so your plan is to sell the property?
Yeah.
Have you started that process?
I'm working on getting my income taxes filed, and until I get my income taxes filed, I owe money to the IRS. So the amount of money that I owe the IRS is more than I can even sell that house for, because they self-filed for me in 2014. I have my accountant died, and I never had some back income tax years filed, so I have to get my income taxes filed before I can even sell. That's why I was,
I don't know why.
is because.
$44,000,
They,
and
they,
that's not
they,
even what that house is worth.
yeah,
Understood,
that's
but you
not
can
even
still
that
sell
sweet.
the house and,
I can still sell a house, but they're gonna
Sentence.
take all the money, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm trying to get, they self-filed, so I have to do an amended return. And it's gonna take like 6 months, or they take all the money.
They're gonna take the
IRS.
money anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it won't give you a clean
not,
title.
after I do
What's
the
that?
amended.
It won't give you a clean title, whoever buys it, till that's paid off.
Because they got a lien on it.
Yeah.
That I didn't know. Okay. So that's a problem. Okay.
Right now, I mean,
You can
I'm just
correct it.
warehousing the place.
That's where we're-
I don't know if I'm that good.
So it's gonna take at least another 6 months before I can get my amended return done, and before
Yeah.
it will get filed with the IRS.
Yeah. And what's that gonna do?
That's gonna take my $45,000 lien that they have
put
on
it
it,
in a
and
trust
I'm gonna
where you're
put it.
gonna
No, I'm
start
gonna
paying on it?
No, because they self-filed, so I never was able to show my deductions on my income taxes. So once I'm able to show my deductions, I'll be able to get my taxes that I owe down to like a couple $1,000s compared to 45,000, and then so they won't take all the money from the revenue of the house then after that.
So, understood. Are there any outstanding taxes right now on that property?
Yes.
Okay, that's a problem. How much is outstanding?
About a year.
A year ago, it was about 11,000.
Yeah, I was able
Biggest
to-
part is the water bill that was 6,000, went up to almost 6,000, because a tenant just kept
I had a
constantly
tenant
running
that-
water.
I had a tenant that left the
For-
water on. They were pretty much vindictive tenants, and when they were renting the place, they kept me locked out of it because of this no, it was because of the new rental registry. They actually went in.
2009,
They actually
19.
went in and they did damages to the place. Invited code in to write it up as code violations. Then they refused to let me in because of COVID, because they said, "Oh, I'll get sick if he gets in," and so they wouldn't let me in to repair it. So then they actually kept me locked out of it. They were able to not pay rent because of the new rental registry. Because if there's any
It's
code
a-
violations,
It's a mess, but
And-
let's not get too
well,
into the
because of
weeds.
that, I lost 2 years of rent because of it, and it was
Yeah.
all due to the rental
Not a
registry.
different story. Well,
Well, because I didn't collect rent, I got behind on my taxes. I got behind on my all my things, including fire insurance. I didn't have the house insured when I had both fires, so I lost everything. I didn't have any insurance in the place.
let me, it's getting
So I
worse as we
lost-
talk here,
Yep.
so let me just,
The department is willing to stipulate to a $20,000 value with an unfinished assessment. The tax issues don't pertain to the valuation of the property.
so,
My heart's problems. I'm just letting you know that the hard problems I've had because of the
yeah,
tenants.
no, I don't dispute it, but, I understand the macro, and we just, gotta keep things moving along, so I thought we could, fast track it. So let me just understand, you're saying,
We'll stipulate to a $20,000 value.
value,
Petitioner wants, make it an unfinished assessment, and I would suspect that even if it's either gonna be sold or somebody's gonna buy it, or it's gonna be torn down.
Other issues
One of
you
the
would
two, and I don't know how much they could get for a house that's a burnout. Because what I'm finding throughout the city, when we get major fires like this, people just walk away.
hoping that doesn't happen.
Right.
It's
And
forcing me
they walk away.
And we do have somebody
And-
watching the house, so,
I'm watching it very good.
well, no, it's not easy when
I
they
know.
dump tires, and
Oh, yeah.
we've got that, we found that person.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand. Okay, so what they came in and asked for, okay, so what Tom is suggesting is that we put what's called an unfinished assessment on the property because it's uninhabitable. yeah, I'm not sure what's gonna happen there. Normally, those stand for a year, and then the, city hopes that things change, and they go back and they remove that unfinished assessment. So, it sounds like you're gonna be doing things to right the situation, but you gotta do things to move along and right the situation. And I know you've been told, so I'm not. So you came in and said you thought the property was worth $20,000, with an assessed value of $12,500. So that's what the assessor is agreeing to, okay? But you gotta, knock these things off here now and get her done, if you will, because the city, will only, leave it this way for a year. So do you understand? That sound about right? Okay. So that'll take care of that property there. Yeah, so it's unfinished for a year, okay? That doesn't mean that we're talking about in a year you remodeled it and, it's all up and running. Hopefully what happens is the taxes get filed and that gets taken care of, so
Just get rid of it.
releases the lien, and then you can get rid of it if you desire not to remodel it, right? And a year should be enough time to be able to do that. Yeah, exactly. Just because, I mean, you want to make something happen too, but the decision probably wasn't just made to be doing these things, and the last fire was in June, so that was 6 months ago. So we just get the thing resolved. Okay, so if there's no further questions there, we'll move on to. Okay, so then we have, 221 Grumbach Ave. Let me just read it into the record here. 221 Grumbach Ave. This is a two-family, and just to give some numbers, we have a current tentative assessment of $51,000 with a land value of $12,100. That would bring the market value to $81,600. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $35,000, which would equate to an assessed value of $21,875. Looks like the property was purchased either 25 or 26,000 in 2007. And that's pretty much it for information. Okay. So what's the situation on this property? Do you own all three of these yourself?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
All right. I was incarcerated for about 4 months, and I went to rehab. During that time, I had both my furnaces stolen, hot water tanks stolen, and the back apartment was pretty much destroyed by people who were squatting in the place while I was gone. And so I'm back now, and right now I'm using just baseboard or electric heaters just to stay warm because my furnace is gone. I just had a brand new furnace put in by heat last year.
This is where this is
This is my
live.
residence.
This is your residence.
Yep.
It's a two-family.
Family.
And so while you were gone,
While I was detained, I had thefts of my major appliances out of the place.
was anybody living in the property, in the other apartment?
I had somebody watching my dogs, and they stole. They actually ended up helping steal all of my stuff. So,
Furnaces and everything.
yep,
They move squatters.
and moved squatters in and pretty much destroyed the back apartment.
And you can't get rid of them for 2.5 months.
So, so besides that, I have, the house is in general disrepair. I need, to get the back apartment back up into, habitable condition before I can even.
You're
rent it.
living there now,
I'm living in the
though.
front apartment,
Front
and
apartment.
the front apartment isn't even habitable. I mean, I don't even have a furnace, so, or hot water. And I just had a brand new furnace put in by heat last year. I mean, it was horrible. So besides that, I have, the place just, it needs new windows, needs a new roof. I have a leaking porch. What else? And besides that, we have, other properties on the street that have sold for far less than
81,000.
eighty-one
I've
thousand.
got two of the comps right
We
here.
have comps right here.
The second, the rear unit has no utilities for all the front of the house. there's
So I
22
can't even
meters-
rent it out.
Meter for the second unit.
There's no
That's
furnaces. So until that, I can't even rent it out, so it's
And
it's
why was it
non-income,
removed?
because the furnace is being missing.
This
furnace, no
squatter took it.
prior time.
So a safety issue or?
It's just a
Yep.
mess.
So
It's a
and
mess.
until then, the place
So
is
it's unheated.
non-habitable, and I can't even rent it out until, so it's not income generating.
So what are your plans as far as time frame is concerned?
It's gonna take me at least a year to be able to get money up to do all this stuff.
Tom, anything you wanna,
Well, there's, based on what we've got it assessed at, it's not worth 81.6. I ran sales, and best ones I came up with run between 47 and 60,000. There's others that sold for more, but they're larger and probably in better condition. I would think that a $50,000 value is reasonable for the property.
you're, just so I understand, you're recommending, $50,000 market value?
Right. That would be an assessment of 31,000. And unfinished also. Since they have one unit that's not occupied, and I thought it was a one-family house because you see in the picture, one of the meters was pulled, and not being in the house, I couldn't tell if it was converted to a one-family or if it was a two-family and the meter was just pulled.
What would you recommend? Be a one family or a two?
It's
Up
a
to you to
two.
decide.
What?
That's up to you to decide.
Yeah,
We've got,
it's a-
if
it's a
it's two
two-family.
separate units, you've got
Yes, two
separate
separate units.
kitchens
Yeah.
and separate baths, it's a two-family house, whether it's occupied or not.
Yep.
Yes, no, I think what she was, asking your opinion, I would try to keep it as a two. I think that's.
Generate some income.
Well,
Go
They need
the other
housing,
ways.
we know that.
If it's
Go
a
the
one
other
and you
way is
wanna
a
make it a
total
two,
major
then you
under-
got problems.
Exactly, oh, yeah, definitely. No, I would definitely, stay the two-family route, in my opinion. This is another time frame thing. We're gonna talk, as a board, of course, we're an independent board. So, we take from you, we take from the city, and then make decisions from there. But the city's recommending a market value of $50,000, which would be an assessed value of $31,000, unfinished again for a year, and then again, this is a situation where the city notes the unfinished, they come back out next year and expect that things are going to be different, and if they're not, they're going to remove the unfinished and potentially do something with the assessed value.
Exactly, is unfinished.
Well, it's the normally unfinished is your property on Graves,
Graves.
right? Your property on Graves is uninhabitable, so that's where you get into unfinished. Tom is being reasonable generous, whatever you want to call it, because one unit is uninhabitable. He's, going the extra mile to call it unfinished, but technically the building is not unfinished because you're living in it. So, he's, doing a good thing under the circumstances, but not something that,
What it does is, when we get our reports on unfinished properties, we make sure if the property's been rehabbed and the
Right.
second unit is now occupied,
Right.
we'll go back out and review the assessment.
right. The point, though, is that, while he might be being, more reasonable or generous now with the unfinished, not going to be that way next year. So, you got a lot of things to do, I get it, and I'm not trying to, put extra things on your plate, I'm just trying to explain to you the situation, so you're not surprised next year if nothing changes. So, that's the city's position. Okay, anything else you want to add? Is there anything you want to submit on this property, which is Grumdock?
We give you the comps rate.
She did, yes. Okay, good. Yeah, so now we'll move on to Second North. Let me just read it in and, we'll say a few things here. This one's a mess. Where are the other two?
Oh, this
They
one you
were,
see.
this is more of a mess? Oh,
Oh,
my God.
Every story.
You're making me, I gotta go take a nap after this.
No, and we blame the law of 2019. That was
You know
Yeah.
what the
not being able to
problem is in the
remove
city of
bad people.
Syracuse? Tenants, that's what the problems are.
It's,
Quality.
Number one, I'm gonna start with
yeah.
this. I'm gonna start with this, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna give you the old type, remember when they did the copies with these, things like that? Do you remember that paperwork? I do have, I have a better survey, but I did the drawing.
All
The
right,
square footage on the house is wrong.
Okay, let me just read it in
Okay.
first, and then we'll address that. 412 Second North Street. Is this a one-family? This is a two-family. Okay. Let me just read in some numbers and a few other things. Okay. So we have a, we have a current tentative assessed value of $63,400, which would equate to a $101,440 market value. Petitioner believes that the market value is $59,800, which would equate to $37,375 assessed value. Let me just take a peek in here. Looks like it was purchased in 1999 for $34,750. It looks like there was a mortgage put on the property, and that's all that's written in here. This is owned by you as well.
Yes.
All right. Land value is $10,200. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay, so if you could tell us about this.
Okay, we have three things that are major. We have, the square footage is wrong.
All right, so what do you have for square footage?
He can have it. I can redo that.
Okay, looks like they say the square footage is 2,097 feet, Tom. And I think we have 2,908 square feet. Yes,
It's
I'm
a
just
one
gonna
family.
have you
There's
take
no way
a
it
look
could be
at that.
29.
All right, we'll let him take a look at it. We'll let's move on, and then he'll take a peek.
All right, so, the other things are we have comps of other places that have sold for less.
I did everything that sold in that area that's from Grant Wayne, is it? Wolf, that circled right around. Wasn't that many sales, really, in that one area. Other parts of the city were bombarded, and those are it, right there.
What's the current situation on this property?
I have tenants who aren't paying. Currently I'm in eviction status on one of them. I just got the other one evicted. I'm currently rehabbing the one apartment on the second floor, going throughout and updating it, painting everything, putting new carpets.
What were the rents?
Our history of trying to get rid of a tenant, and you go to court, and they expect it, and then they kind of catch
What are
up.
the rents?
What are the
Or
rents?
they leave.
Hold on one second. What are the current rents?
$675 and $650.
I don't know.
675 and 650. And that, and all separate utilities?
Yes.
All right, so everything's separate, you know, when they pay and all that, but there's a tenant in there now.
On the first floor.
What are they paying?
$675.
All right, so 675 down, 650 up. But that up is vacant and you're
Yeah,
rehabbing
I
it.
just got it.
Okay,
evicted.
and the downstairs, you're in the process of evicting them. All right. So we got 1325 in rents total. What'd you give me here?
That's just eviction.
Showing you how you have to keep going back, they pay up, sort of, then they don't.
Yeah, they use the eviction thing as a game where they can get me to pay $240 to do the eviction process, so I have to pay out of pocket just to get the back rents. Then you go to court, and then the judge gives them another month in advance. So then they pay that back rent, and then they don't pay the current rent, and they have to go back to the eviction court, pay $240 all over again just to get them to pay the current rent. And it's just a game that I'm going through nonstop with these.
Yeah, it sounds like
About the bank.
liquidation and move on probably would be
The bank's
It's getting
just,
rid of them is the
They can't
hardest
break
thing.
even, let alone get ahead.
He owes Chase at least 900 and,
they up the
they said 976, but luckily somehow we're getting it at 941 when he's on his fifth month
guess the
every time.
Texas were not
If we
screwed
go
in.
one more month, he's into foreclosure.
Yeah,
And we get that one paid off at 9-something, but the 675 doesn't even cover it, but we can't get rid
They
of
allow you to
him.
go 120 days, past due on the mortgage before they
Yeah,
go
as
into
soon as we can
foreclosure
get-
status. And I'm at that point right now, just trying to keep from going over 120 days, trying to get the rents to cover that. And I keep
Oh,
having
they
to borrow
sneak
money
dogs
for
in
an
and they
eviction.
bring in other people.
All right, let me just interrupt just for a second here. So, Tom, what, any update on the square footage?
I'm not gonna go by a hand drawing, trying to look at the survey, but they didn't put all of the dimensions on here.
Can make a better copy of a survey
I
and
don't
send
want
it
a
to you.
copy, I want a survey that's accurate. But I looked at comparable sales, and I think our department has fairly assessed the property. And because they have problems with the tenants, that's not our issue.
Yeah.
Also have comps.
It's not
It's a
our,
it's
a cost of doing business and screening your tenants, collecting your rents. We have to value the property based on comparable sales, and I think the property is fairly assessed.
And that's,
And
and we buy into that too. If you're gonna be in the rental business, these things happen. So it is what it is.
And I know
Did
if
we
we
give you
put
the
it on the
comps?
market at 101, it would, forget it.
Well, okay, and that's fine, but the point that Tom's trying to make is that while it's unfortunate, the tenant issues are your problems. It's just the way it is.
I think that it's the city's problems.
Yeah, the city's problem,
I
too.
mean,
They
it's
don't
Not
do
the
anything
city's
else.
problem, it's your problem. You're
If
the
you-
landlord.
If you decide that you wanna get into.
That's why everybody's trying
That's
to
why I wanna
sell
get out
it.
of the business.
And that's okay, that's okay. But certainly it's not the you know, it reverts to the landlord, you know, as far as tenants are concerned. You know, their side of the coin might be, well, this wasn't repaired and blah, 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 you know, it's a mess. Nothing that we want to get into. So you're saying that you believe that the property is fairly assessed?
If we put it on the market for 101, can we do that for a couple of, 1 month and see it doesn't sell?
Well, again, that's up to you. And just so you know.
Oh, that's
because
one way
we're-
that's one way of
That's
doing
one
it,
way they
Yeah.
used to do it.
is putting it on the market and seeing what it.
And Joe,
Oh,
as a
sure,
realtor, you know, I don't know about you, but I remember how many people would ask me, let's put it on. Okay, we'll put it on. And when it didn't sell, then we could go back to the city or the county or wherever it was.
Yeah,
And
know.
I will tell you, I gave you the comps, and there's no house, there's only one on that area that sold for 111, but it was absolutely gorgeous. I went in and everything was updated. Now, when you can't update stuff because you've got tenants in there, and they bring their dogs in there, and you can have the best people, and they can turn on you.
Oh, sure. Let me just say that we're an independent board, right? So we take from you, we take from Tom, and then we offline make a decision as to what we think the
You
property is
didn't introduce
worth.
Tom to us. Who is Tom?
Tom Johnson is is
assessor.
one of the assessors, okay? And they change year over year as far as different areas of the city, but he happens to be.
We also have a boarded up house next door,
Yes,
and
another thing.
and that right there is just a
Oh, that
eyesore on my
it
house.
doesn't help. It
Doesn't
doesn't
help.
help for sure. But
And by the way, you got that assessed for 144,000,
that house next door.
and it's bad. They had to just
Yeah.
about 2 months ago, they knocked down the garage because it was caving in.
Place needs
I don't know
windows,
what
siding.
the situation is on that.
Yeah.
I remember I
I can
Well,
walk,
there's, yeah.
I can walk
because-
one block over to Grant Boulevard and get $170,000 for a two-family house.
We're gonna put
So
it-
all
can
of
do
your
that.
houses
You
are
can
all
do
in poor condition.
As a former.
And that's a maintenance problem that you have to deal with. It's not the city's problem.
As a retired appraiser for 30-some years, and also an FHA.
I've got 45 years. I'm a state certified real estate appraiser, okay? So I'm gonna give you credit for that. Give me some credit for knowing what I do.
Yeah.
you're also skewed towards the city's side, not our side.
Well, we try to, the assessors are very fair, and they, basically, it's a numbers thing, right? And they'll
Skewed towards the
pull.
city making money.
No, believe me, the city doesn't make any money.
Nobody.
No, that's for sure.
Where's this? Hold on. I don't know if I
And
can-
again, I'm not defending the city, independent board, but no, the assessors try to be as fair as possible, you know. And,
Did we give yeah, I gave him the.
especially in
copies.
light of the fact of what is being proposed to be done on the first two
I was
properties.
a member of this board for a couple of years, so.
Yeah?
That was even back when we were down at the Carousel Center.
Oh, that was just before us, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never, I think we joined in early 2000. Yeah.
That
But,
was
must have
really
been,
a-
so you were on with, at Carousel, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was
That was a turmoil
there too?
time.
Bill Anderson and Bernie Puglisi
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bernie Calusi, yeah. That was, he was a member
and
of our board.
Lyle, can't remember, Lyle Squires. All right, so,
Jerry Hoffman. Jerry
I
Hoffman
think
was
we've
on
got
the board,
enough
yeah.
information, to make determinations on all
I
three.
appreciate what you guys go through, I know.
Yeah, no, you have a little, but, you know, we try to, you know, look, we're
Actually,
fair,
the
we
best
don't
thing
get
to
it
do is
right
put
all
a
the
property
time.
up for sale, see what it will bring. I
Well,
mean, you know.
yes, that's very true. You know, the comps come from, half a mile radius, so on and so forth.
We know enough to do close, because Dick's an
Yeah.
appraiser, and I'm a realtor, I'm still a
Yes. Oh, yeah.
broker.
Yeah, we don't
Still
dispute
practicing.
your expertise. Having said that, there's certain things that will fall, on you as the but
Things are changing, that's just,
oh man, things have changed. No question. And that's why I say it may be time just to cut losses and get out. Because there's a lot of stuff here and. we probably
That's
over-
what he wants.
Once I get my taxes filed, like I was telling you.
Yep. No,
that's what he
this-
wants to do too.
Sure.
In fact, I have an article of being in Syracuse.com after I had the problems with the COVID with the tenants because of the moratorium on evictions. I lost a lot of money, and I wasn't able to get the ERAP and LRAP on a lot of my tenants. And I was actually in Syracuse.com. I have an article that I was in, and actually it was on in the newspaper, standing in front of my house on Grave Street, listing that I want to sell all my places because it's not a business that makes money. I mean,
It's hard.
I've lost money.
Very difficult.
Rules and regulations that are
And
coming
after
down.
that, then I had 2 fires in the place, and now the picture that I'm standing in front of a nice house is destroyed. It's sad, because I actually was like one of the best houses on the neighborhood. I was actually keeping up the neighborhood. Now that I've lost my house, the neighborhood's gone to pot. I mean, my house was the only house pretty much on the neighborhood that was keeping the neighborhood alive. I was the best landlord on the street, and now that my house is boarded up, burnt out, now that neighborhood has a store here, and we have jug dealers on the corner, and you guys are gonna miss me.
Could be the case.
It's a shame what has happened to the neighborhoods, good, solid neighborhoods in the city.
In fact, the second fire was started by Juggy breaking in, and in fact, both of them were, 'cause there was 2 arson fires, so.
All right, well, good luck. The city will send you 3 separate notices on each property beginning of April.
Nothing to do, appreciate it.
Yes.
Make it reasonable for me so I can pay my taxes.
What's interesting is,
Yeah.
Yeah, go way back.
just for the fun of it, I'll tell you.
And prior to my history there, I spent a lot of time in this room with
Where
a
does he
member of
want
the
this,
media.
either emailed or mailed?
Yes, yes.
Make a better copy.
15 years with Channel 9.
Good price. Baron Damone.
Yeah,
You remember Mike, right?
one of our
Once
last
the actual-
hold-ons.
Yeah, I
He still
just
does
read
a
that.
few
He
things.
Me and Tim Fox,
can still be the number.
about it.
Yeah.
I broke Tim Fox in it.
Great stuff. All right, well,
Good.
thank you again for
Good
coming
meeting.
in.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I
Yep, thank you.
appreciate it.
Just before I leave,
Seeing
just for
y'all.
fun, I was up till about 1:30 last night, and I went through all just this one block area on Second North. And it's interesting how
was
much,
doing
maybe
her
you look at the
research, I'll tell
history,
you.
how much it could sold. The prices are really weird. It's like, here's one that started off in 2090 at 98,000. The next year, of course, they did a dollar transformation. Then in 93, they sold it for 106, and then 2005, they sold it for 73. So it goes up, down, and that's just one of them. And here's one that started off at 94 and 85, went down to 57, that's his, and then sold for 34 when he bought it, and then, and just remember, 2000, started off 85 to 57 to different buyers, to the foreclosure at 34.7, and now 100 and something? It's
Well,
great.
yes,
I wish it was 107. I think about 2 years ago,
wish
we
it
could
was
have
too.
done that. Something about
well, the trend is still going up.
it's hard to tell, the city is, depending on where the city is.
Understood.
If you're in
Understood.
Eastwood, it's
Yep.
sky high. If it's in Tip Hill, kind of going up.
North side is.
North side
lost
is
it.
just really rocky right
A little
now.
bit, I think.
Okay, I just thought you'd all love to hear that.
Thank you, thank you.
No, it's all about the numbers, for sure.
All right, thank you.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
good luck to you.
Something interesting. Bless you for being here.
Okay, so we're gonna read a couple of properties in on parties that did not show up. And it looks like the first one we'll do is 2025 James Street. Michelle, just a quick question on these two. Haven't heard anything as of yet as far as no call in as to why they didn't show. Okay. Thank you. So 2025 James Street, this petitioner has not shown up for their hearing, which was at 9:10 this morning. This is just checked off residence, so I'm assuming a one-family. And the land, let's see. Okay, the land value is 12,700. The current tentative assessment is 80,000. That would be a market value of 128,000. Now, this one here, it says we did not estimate of market value. So there's nothing put in here as far as market value is concerned. Therefore, there's not a lot that we can do with it.
Our policy, as in the past with no-shows, we ask that those be dismissed.
Okay. All right, so, you are requesting dismissal. And, it has been noted. Again, the petitioner is not here, so we can determine what they would be requesting as far as a market value is concerned, so, we would probably dismiss it ourselves, or at the very least, no change, but we'll discuss that further and make a decision. Do you have any comps or anything to that effect?
Yeah.
Somebody has submitted
Yeah,
some comps.
it was increased part of a neighborhood revaluation, so that's what brought the petitioners in.
All right, fair enough there. Then we have, that was, so that was number 7 on our list, I believe. Okay. And then we have 261 Grant Boulevard, which would be number 8. We got something else. Okay, 261 Grant Boulevard, this petitioner did not show. It's a single-family home. And as far as numbers are concerned, we have a land value of 11,600. So current tentative assessment is 80, they have 90,000. 80,000? It's 90,000. Okay. Oh. Mistake. Yeah, I was reading the wrong one. 11,600 land value, 90,000 assessed value, which would be 144,000 market value. Petitioner believes the fair market value is 50,000, which would be an assessed value of $31,250. And actually, let me just interrupt this one for one quick second, just to go back to 2025 James Street. Okay, there's just some notes. I was looking for recent purchase information, but there wasn't any. Just some notes on condition, which we'll take a look at. And then going back to 261 Grant Boulevard, looks like it was purchased for $65,000 on March 30th of 2011. Nothing, oh, it was a appraised by M&T Bank, 2021 or 2022, but there's no pricing information as far as that's concerned on the petition. So with that, Tom,
The assessment was increased by $15,000, part of revaluation. I looked at every property on Grant Boulevard. When I went through and did my analysis and I raised it, I mean, I just thought it was interesting. She paid 65 and thought it's only worth 50 now, but there's a picture of the house with the file, and I think that the comparable sales justify what we have it assessed at.
okay, is there any request of dismissal based on the lack
Dismissal
of show?
because of a no-show.
Short of that, both the one on James and Grant Boulevard, you feel is And then, Michelle, I just wanted to confirm, is this Lodi Street, is that correct? 1130? Okay, that's fine.
That was, yeah, that's what he wanted. This is Ann's area, but I'm familiar with the owner and the property. And he,
I noticed it myself. Yeah, no
And he
worries.
thinks
So
I'm
that
his
you're
best
gonna
friend.
take it? Okay. And, so we have, we'll just recess here a little bit. We've got somebody coming in at 11:30, which is about 45
Oh,
minutes from
he's
now.
coming in. Okay.
Yeah,
hoping
at
he'll show up
11:30.
early. I tried to,
Yeah, no, that's fine.
but
Hey,
when we scheduled it, we didn't know what was
Understood.
gonna
Yeah,
happen
you
in
might,
between.
you thought maybe you're
We're
gonna
gonna
fill
have a
in.
full schedule.
Yeah, now, I'm glad that somebody's coming in. I heard the coffee going on, and I'm like, oh my God, if we're done, she's gonna kill me.
I wasn't even gonna ask if we didn't have another one.
Yeah, no, thank you, thank you. I'm just gonna take a quick call here. Richard.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got new development going on, yep. Yeah. It's,
Want to push me as cup? Can you push me as cup? It's a little overflow here, so.
it's not that way. Good.
Family good?
Yeah, everybody's good.
Brother,
Yep. How about you?
Oh. Oh, I see that. That's interesting. Yours doesn't do that?
Oh, just
All right, so. There he is.
These two don't even bother showing up on my last day hearings.
Well, they figured you were gonna be working a few more days.
Yeah, what, you're done?
Well, he's,
We were hoping you'd come up here.
He's
and get in a
retiring.
fight with, what's his face?
I saw you give it, I saw you kissing that guy yesterday. They probably are. Head full here.
What do you think, just because you're retiring, you can do that?
I just want to say, hi, Mike.
I did,
Yeah, yeah.
I did want to throw out, print it off the sketch. Let me do it. What you're doing, that makes things so much. Put it in the assessment. Because I used, we used to. That would alleviate, confirming. And then, then we got the exact numbers. Definitely, I know was on your part. It was really fun, very well. Started. Other thing was, the room was full, right? It was because it was first come, first served. So they would come in, they would sign up, and then they would order. So, just hectic for the whole day. Wow. There was one, maybe two parties waiting. 10 minutes to close. And multiple properties. Three properties. I don't think they were because we were talking.
Which one's the evening? Do we-
The 21st.
That's fourth floor. Okay, but I'll,
Yeah, because the other option is cutting over place.
Yes.
They come with a free laptop.
Oh, yeah, nice. I'm just trying to catch up on my work emails here.
They've got, I think the entire 7th floor. I think they have something either on the 6th or 5th floor. I think that's. Related to the city, but not actually.
Oh, yes, the citizens review.
That's.
Those are beautiful, beautiful offices. That's where I did my training last week.
so the city doesn't own that.
No, that building. And then first floor.
That was over at the time. What's over in common now? That building?
There may still be a few attorneys over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where's Neighborhood Watch? They used.
So what are they gonna, the city owns that building?
They sold it.
Sold that building?
Yeah.
It's
One over
still
here?
in the process, but yes, we have
Who bought it?
growing
apartments they
neighborhood,
putting
yeah.
down. You're in an apartment now.
The old Merchants Bank building, right? Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
On Warren Street, right here. Yeah, I love it.
I toured that one, yeah,
Oh, did you?
that was one of the ones that I did when they have those tours.
Oh, yeah.
And that actually wasn't on there, but,
Oh, really?
the fellow was out front.
The downtown living tour.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
they're fun.
Is there an
Yeah,
option?
Fun
I
to,
thought- yeah, I think I'd like to
it's
go
a
on.
lot of fun. I volunteered for it one year, and, I just stood there and greeted people who came in. But it's fun to go through all the different, especially buildings you remember.
Oh,
Addison's.
Yeah, some fourth, yeah.
Well, this was the jewelry department.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of fun. And you look out the windows and, yeah, it's neat. Yeah. The furniture store that was down on Salina, that's kind of neat with the staircase. Got a staircase in it. The spirally staircase. And it's just neat to see what they've done with the old buildings. But my mother worked in that building, the Merchants Bank building. My mother worked for Melvin and Melvin for years, so I was interested in that
Nice.
one. It's got a roof with the grills and everything up on top. Cool. Yeah. And people use it all the time? Yeah, yeah. Nice little community. I mean, it's a neighborhood.
Yep.
Yeah. It's cool. I want to show you something, so I don't know if you.
See the cost. We can help you with stuff.
The coffee pot we're keeping over in fall,
Oh, okay.
so that it doesn't concentrate.
All right, yeah. No, I have seen her.
Yep.
Familiar, yeah. All right, nice.
Yep, she went to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So.
How you doing?
Are you were 11:30?
Yeah, Jack July.
Perfect.
2508 Rhode Island.
Perfect. If you want to sign right there.
So it's up next to the Slavic church up there. Homes, but these are gonna be, the first step into townhomes.
Well, I saw that it's because the, whatever post I saw, I don't know if it was on Facebook or whatever the heck it was, said something about HOA and
Yeah.
cut the grass and,
Yeah, so it's gonna be a townhome environment. Yeah, like a mid-high over it. I'm not an development of this, but I'm helping to sell it.
so they'll be attached, they're not
Yeah, yeah.
attached single.
The back, second phase, the back end, the center here will be non-attached homes.
Oh.
Everything up towards Dog Road. It's gonna be like 25 townhomes. Bunch of size. Questions? School district.
You know that guy, Fran? He was a trumpet player. Fran Chowski?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and he was a guard at the Unknown Soldiers too.
Really? Wow.
And he modeled for years and years.
Like a pretty fit guy, like he was.
I think he's the same way he was when he marched,
Freezing.
Yeah.
you know, as a teenager.
That's pretty cool. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, they announced and they'll get started, they're gonna start clearing it out, clearing the raw land and laying foundations.
Right. Want to come on up? How you doing today? Good.
Early
Single family will be a second phase or something? Yeah.
All right. I'm going to swear you in, but you're here for 2508 Lodi?
Yes. $160-something.
All right. So if I could swear you in, if you could raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Jack Vigilati.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you
Yes.
God? All right, so let me just read it in here. This is 2508 Lodi Street. This is this a one-family?
Yes.
So, okay, this is, this number 9. So we got a current tentative assessment of $60,000. We have a land value, Tom?
8,400.
I believe the property's worth $20,000, which would be an assessed value. Let's see. So this was your aunt's property?
No, this property's been in my family over 100 years. My grandparents came from Italy, bought the property. My father was born in 1915. It's been in my family 100-some years. My aunt owned it since the 70s when my grandmother passed. Two of my aunts owned it. One, and she ended up getting it, and I ended up acquiring the property from her. When I bought the property, all the roofs, the garage roof was partially caved in. The house was leaking. It was all from the 60s and 50s stuff inside. I gutted the whole house, and I've been working on it since then. So it's part of the story that might not be relevant to some of you, but it's relevant to me. I was incarcerated for a long time, biker-related crime. I got out of prison. I bought the property for my aunt and never asked the government for anything to help to fix anything in the house. I gutted the entire house. All the roofs are brand new. Used to have a dirt driveway my whole life. It's got a paved driveway now. And as I make money, I slowly been working on the house. Mr. Johnson came to the house a few years back, and at gunpoint, I had to make him come in the house because he didn't want to come in the house. I'm joking. And everybody's like,
I was gonna say, was this part of the
Right.
start of your incarceration?
So he came in the house. I wanted to show him that, there used to be 2 apartments there. It's just one house now. The back apartment's not finished, as you see by the pictures. When I got out of prison, I lived in Westvale. My wife was a wound specialist in the VA hospital. I was not planning on getting divorced. I bought the property to renovate it and rent it out. And over the course of the years, and after me and my wife got divorced, I ended up living in the RV in that driveway because the house was gutted for a couple seasons. And I got the front part somewhat done. Over the course of time, as I say, as I make money, I've been doing it. So since then, I have a few injuries. I got bone on my knee. I got this here. I fell off a roof, broke 5 ribs, punctured my lung. That delayed me. So any money I get goes in the house. I'm broke because of the house. And the last few years have been not so good with COVID and everything. I own Rainbow Painting Contract, and I'm the sole purpose provider of that company because nobody wants to do a good job. And when I do work for customers, I want to make sure they get the best done, not like these clean-cut guys ripping them off. That's not what I do. So that being said, is money-wise, I do have a lot of material there that as I make money, I buy it. Since he's been there, there's been 2 garage doors put up on the garage. Numerous things in the front apartment were finished to a certain degree. But my goal was, as I was saying, is that I hired people to work there. They allegedly could do a good job, and when you see the drywall work in the back apartment, needless to say, he didn't get paid, except for probably like $200 out of $2,000 he wanted. And I had numerous people work there, and everybody I had worked there, I either had an altercation with a couple of them because they didn't do a good job or ran them away. So now I refuse to let anybody work there. So as I get time and money, I've been working on the house. And the pictures will depict that house ain't worth no $99,000. When they valued that house at $99,000 when my aunt had it, that house sat for 7 years with nobody living in it because she got so old she couldn't deal with the tenants. And Section 8 or whatever was living there, they'd pay her, they'd take off, they wouldn't pay her. And they did the house, like I said, the house was retro from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. I gutted it, and new insulation, new drywall. The back apartment has to be all redone. But she never went to the city about getting it reassessed because I don't know why she didn't, because it was never worth $99,000. And another thing you got to take in consideration on the value of that property is where it's at. Cop got shot at last year. Guy got murdered around the corner. Cooney Air Conditioning separates my property from that property. Constant noise, you know what I mean? I don't think that they're taking that into assessment if you live there, because I don't want to live there. It ain't, the neighborhood's not what it used to be when I grew up there. All Italians, Irish, and Germans. It's not that no more. Very dangerous over there. So that's what they need to assess. And then Cooney Air Conditioning is right next door, and from 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night, there's noise. And at the corner store on Bear and Salina, that promotes a lot of vagabonds walk through that alleyway.
I was trying to, so what's your nearest cross street? Are you on the
Bear
other
Street,
side?
between Turtle and Bear.
Turtle and Bear?
Yes.
Yes, so you're through Lodi on the other side, I think.
Well, if you come to Bear Street and you came back towards Turtle, you got a car lot on the corner, you got Cooney Air Conditioner, and then my house, you see a white picket fence out front. Now, the siding on that house, when I bought the house, was there. I painted it. It makes it look better. I mean, from the outside, on the front part, yeah, it looks nice compared to other houses there. But as you see by the pictures, it needs a lot of work. Foundation work. I bought the house, the back of the house caved in on the foundation. I jacked it, redid all that on the back wall, down cellar. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done there.
Are you living in one of the units?
Yeah, I live in the front right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Back is, you're continually renovating both of them, is that it?
Well, the front's almost done. There's just a few things that need to be done, as you'll see by the pictures, minor stuff. But the back, all the drywall in the back has come back down, you know. Some of the 2x4s in the ceiling, he was supposed to take them out and put new ones in. They never did. When you see the drywall, I mean, this is drywall work from somebody who never did drywall work in their life. I mean, it's like this, you know, and like I said, you're all welcome to come look at the house. I'll bring you in and show you, you know.
Are you working at a job during the day, or what?
During the wintertime, I don't work. There's no really much work in the wintertime here, you know, and because of my injuries recently, I can only take on so much work. Actually, I turn away a lot of work because people don't want to wait. They want it done yesterday. But I'm licensed, insured, you know.
And so you do exterior painting, is that?
No, I do everything.
Okay.
I build your house.
Okay.
I do concrete work, masonry work, you name it, I do. Electrical, plumbing, I do it all. And I do it right.
That's good, all right. With or without the gun?
Well, you know,
Just kidding.
I know. You know, society, man, paints a picture of people that have been incarcerated. You know what I mean? My crime was a bike-related crime, President Motorcycle Club, which is not really relevant. But the moral story is this. I was raised to have respect for people, right? So I don't never rip nobody off. I never robbed no mom and pop store. Not that kind of thing. My thing was biker thing, you know? So that being said, is we're painting a picture of that if we're a convict, that we must be this. I'm the most trustworthy person you ever meet in your life. If I told you tomorrow to put on a raincoat, that means I know for a fact it's going to rain. And I wouldn't say that because my word means everything to me, more than anything else in the world. So them pictures I gave you are recently taken. You know, they're not 4 years ago, 3 years ago. They were taken a couple days ago and they were printed from Walmart. You know, and I swear on oath on that too.
All right, so, do you have knowledge of this property?
I haven't been in the house in a few years, and so Jack knows it's not my area anymore. Somebody else raised your assessment. So you
Okay,
can
so
go
this
after-
was an assessment.
But look, that's another thing I like to raise. I mean, how are you gonna raise assessment from $20,000 to $60,000 without even coming back out or checking with a homeowner after he's already been there, somebody's been there to look at the property? You know what I mean? I mean, the outside of the house, I mean, the back windows of the house, back of the house is all boarded up, you know what I mean? Needs new windows in the back, but in the front, there's all new windows. I mean, I've done, like I said, I'm broke because of the house. Out of respect for my grandparents and my father, I keep trying to make the house right, you know? I'm never gonna get the money out of that house. When I'm done with it, I never get the money that it's worth, you know, will be worth out of my pocket. But right now, the value isn't, I mean, like I said, with the neighborhood and next door and all the pictures you'll see, the value's not, you know, 99,000. I mean, it's not even 60,000. There's probably, in my estimation of work, if I had to hire somebody, you're probably looking at $50,000 in work there, at least, still, you know, but with me doing it, that'll cut the cost down, way down. You know?
Yes. All right, Tom?
I didn't run any comparable sales, and the department's willing to work with the board's judgment based on the pictures, because I advised Jack to, you know, the house is still in the same kind of condition it was that when I saw it a few years ago. You've got pictures to support that. And why the assessment was re-triggered, or the reassessment was re-triggered, is because when we have an unfinished assessment, we run a list, what ones have water. And when they have water, they say, okay, it's occupied now. And you go by, you look at the outside, say, it looks reasonable. From the front, yeah, so.
Okay, so it all makes sense.
There's a
but,
picture.
It sounds like it needs to be looked at a little bit closer.
If you drive by the house from that neighborhood, you know, you're gonna say, wow, this house is really nice.
And that's what the
Yeah,
assessor did.
compared to the other houses.
And
there.
I did notice when he painted it, I said, holy crap, he put new siding on, and it was the original
Painted.
siding.
Vinyl can be painted, a lot of people don't realize that.
And when Jack can pick Powerball numbers, I want him to call me.
I just played it, I didn't win.
Yeah.
The house has meaning to me, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I was raised there, my father lived there his whole life. He lived across the street before he got cancer, died in '89. I mean, my whole life is, you know, besides living in other states, been living in that area. You know, my father lived there up till he died, you know, and like I said, I was raised in that house with my grandmother, you know. The house has been our family a long time.
I have, my godmother actually passed away recently.
Well, Pepino's supposed to be related somehow through my grandfather's brother or something allegedly, but I don't really know him, you know. My family's Sam's Auto Body. My father sold cars. My father had car lots all on the north side from the 40s to the 80s, Sam's used cars, and Barron Salina, or State and Division where Dunkin' Donuts is, or Ramona. No, Sam's my father. Sam's Auto Body, his son that runs it now is my nephew. His father was my brother. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, so Sam's your father.
Not the
Sam's
one.
still alive?
No, Sam that runs Sam's Auto Body now his car star. That's my nephew. His father was my brother.
Okay.
My father was born 1915. He was.
Okay, all right.
I was the last one, 47 years
so
old. He was quite proud of that.
Sam is your brother.
Sam that's there now, his father was my brother. The kid that's there now, well, he's not a kid. He's 60-some years old. He's my brother.
Right, so that's who I know.
You knew old man Sam.
No, I know your brother.
No, nephew.
Or nephew.
The one that's you're getting messed up.
Who's on first?
Yeah, you got shit from that good stuff in there.
Yes. So
Yeah.
the guy that owns Sam's Auto
Now
Body now
is my nephew.
is your nephew.
His father started in 58 down there on Genesee Street.
His father's your brother.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 60.
You don't look it.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
With or without the gun.
With the gun, he's
With the gun, you look 30. No, but all right. So points well taken. So you're not willing to make a recommendation based on you not being
right
in the area.
Yeah, and, you know, the fact that if he's got pictures that support, you know, I don't know if Ann would agree to go down to a $20,000 value, but, you know, keep the unfinished assessment on, and if the board feels that, you know, a decrease in the assessment is warranted.
You're welcome to come, you know, like I said, if all you want to come,
I
I'll
think
bring you
that-
there and show you the inside, you know,
Yep.
and
No,
outside, and the basement, you know.
definitely don't dispute it. I think the pictures will, and we'll go through the pictures. But I think that, you know, based on that, it's just that generally speaking, how long has the unfinished been on it?
Wow.
Years.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So it's
Generally, the city does the unfinished for a year.
I know,
you
that's
know.
what, that happened last time.
Yeah, but this seems like it's a longer scenario.
Like I said, so you know, the front apartment, right, if you came in there, it's nice, you know, all new insulation's been put in the house, all wiring, the whole house has been rewired. All the house has been PEX tubing, there's no old nothing in the house. I mean, all the roofs are brand
Just
new.
some fine tuning in the front and then the back.
Yeah, the back needs to be all
The back is
redone.
gutted.
The back is just all drywall.
Okay.
So when you see the pictures, some walls don't have drywall on it, you'll see wires hanging in certain places, but, I mean, there's a lot of money in the house, you know, I mean.
What's your thoughts as far as time frame to get that rentable? Just ask.
Well, it's not gonna be rentable. I live there. Until I move to Arizona eventually, when I get a little bit older, I'm gonna live there, you know. I don't really want anybody living there but me, actually.
In the rear apartment?
No, the whole house.
The whole
It's
house?
gonna be one house. It's one house.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you can access from, they used to have a wall there. You can access from the front apartment, walk right into the back apartment. It was a whole house years ago, and then when my grandmother started getting older, they converted the front to an apartment with 2 bedrooms.
Okay. And you're in the process because it's listed as a one family, is that correct?
Yeah, that's what it is.
So you're bringing it back to what it
Yes,
was?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
And the garage now, in the garage, like I said, all the roofs were caved in, when I bought it. It's all new roofs, all new wood.
Size garage.
It'll hold, well, I got 7 bikes in there right now, and it'll hold probably 4 cars, but there's 2-car garage up there now, and, I put new doors up, it's all been re-insulated in there, all wire, new wire running to it, you know, I mean, breaker box and everything, so I got a lot of money in the house. I mean, money-wise, yes, but all the other stuff that needs to be done, no.
All right, so we'll take into consideration, of course, we'll probably chat with Ann a little bit also to see where she was coming from with her assessment increase. However, very nice looking picture, wherever that is. And so, you know, a lot of good work that you're doing, and and I can certainly understand on a drive-by where she was thinking of the value.
See, two houses just went for, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Two houses just went for sale over there, right? And they're asking, the Jewish people that own the house across the street, and they own allegedly 250 houses in Syracuse. They got different LLCs, because I checked them out. But their house just went up for $74,000. It's not worth $74,000. The paint on that house has been the same color since I was 5 years old, right? Seriously, I ain't even joking. And, yeah, and, well, siding, you know, aluminum siding. But, so then they dropped it to 70, and then the house 2 doors down from me, they have that up for $70,000. And then there's a house on Bear Street in Lodi that allegedly went for $100-some thousand, and I don't even know how that happened. But, so I think maybe they're assessing based on.
General trend has been
Right.
up, but, I don't think, I think maybe she assumed based on the exterior that everything was done inside.
Since he's been there, just to add, on the side, there's a side porch that goes in the back of the house. That was all boarded up when he came. Before winter, I put steps there, put a door in there finally, you know, and, but the back of the house is still boarded up. I have a door to go in the back of the house. I don't have the windows yet. I look for deals online and stuff, you know, try to buy them like that, or through my Home Depot account if I can get a deal.
All right, well, Tom gave us some feedback. Anything else you want to add? Okay. And so we'll talk to Ann also, and we'll look at the pictures, and we'll do a pretty extensive review on it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and then the city will send you notice first week of April. And the last thing I'll say is that if you don't agree with what the board comes
Bring
up
gun.
with, my name is Carl Master. Feel free, I'm over on the west side, and feel free to stop in and have a chat.
Where's Timothy Rudd? He don't hold these hearings?
No, he's, is he a counselor?
Oh, he is now?
He was a counselor.
He was a counselor.
Okay.
Are you related to Rick?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Manipole?
There's a lot of different master polls.
Oh, Master Pole, I mean, yeah.
But anyway, all kidding
Okay.
aside, we'll take some time and try to come up with a fair scenario.
Like I said, if you want to send somebody out to look, I'm more than happy to bring you where all the pictures are and show you all the stuff that needs to be done.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I think these will suffice, and we'll get some feedback.
Who's Ann?
Ann is an assessor. She's actually deputy commissioner.
First deputy commissioner.
And they switch around year over year as far as different areas that they assess. And she is the one that took a look at your property. That's Gallagher. And if you need any more information on her, I'd be glad to give it to you. No.
I tell people all the time, right, that now that, you know, off the record, right? Tell people all the time, like, I'm the guy at Home Depot, right, when I see 80-year-old person, you know, and these idiots that work there who don't help them, I run up to their car and, you know, of course I ain't dressed like this, but I run up to the car and I help them. You know, one 80-year-old guy, he was trying to get a hot water heater in there. He's looking at the back of his SUV like, how the hell am I gonna get this in there? I jumped out the truck, helped him. First thing he did was reach in his pocket and give me money. I was like, I don't want no money. Here's my card. And he called me about a year later for that guy, build him a deck. You know, but this, I'm the person that will save you in the parking lot, save your wife in the parking lot if somebody's trying to rape them or hurt them. Because people get this image, you know, of bikers, and they get this image of things, you know, but that's just how it is. You know?
Stereotypical, no, it
Yes.
doesn't, it certainly seems like that's not the case as far as yourself is concerned. With that said, we gotta, you know, try to
I
come up with
understand.
a fair price.
I understand 100%.
And, but definitely, I know the city appreciates the renovations that you're doing and, you know, continuing to pay the taxes and all that.
Never missed the taxes since I lived there. And like I said, I never asked for help from the city. I was more than definitely a candidate for free stuff from the government grants and stuff. You know what I mean? With everything that's I've been through. Never asked anybody for nothing. So all
And
my
I know
hard-earned
that-
money, besides motorcycles, goes into that house.
Yeah, and the,
7 of them. I'm the guy you see riding around all year long in the winter and everything. I got a bike just for winter. When guys say, "Oh, I got a $40,000 bike. I don't ride in the winter for snow." Well, you don't. If you got a $10 million Ferrari, you don't ride that in the winter neither. You buy a winter rat, right?
Where do
I
you
got
put
it.
them all?
In my garage.
He revs up in the neighborhood near you.
No, even when I come home late, I don't ever ride my bike.
So
Out
no
of respect.
car? You don't have a car?
Yeah, I have a car.
Oh, you have a car
Yeah,
too?
I gotta have a car for my
Yeah.
business. I got a van and a truck. Yes.
Okay.
Nobody works for you, it's just yourself.
Only one person, Danny Hammond, used to own martial arts schools, so he's quite famous, but he's the only person. Can't find nobody who does a good job, and I don't want to put nobody on nobody's house that's not going to do a good job. Because when I do work for people, and I ain't just saying this to be, sound good, when I do work for people, you never call me back unless you're going to use me to do something else. I take pride in what I do. It's going to be done right the first time, not the second, third time. So if you call me back, it's going to be because you want something else done. Yes.
Putting your name on.
Yes, that means a lot to me.
Good, thank you very much.
Thank
for
you.
coming in. Nice to meet you. Carl Masterpool.
You gotta watch this guy over here.
Yes.
Yes.
So you're gonna send me something in the mail?
He's a full-time job.
First week April.
Yeah, first week of April.
Thank you.
Actually,
Appreciate your
Carl
time.
may hand deliver it. Thanks a lot.
Good way to end.
He should do stand-up.
He's good, yeah.
Come and live with me if you want.
Carl, can I have your?
Jared, I'm taking his room.
That's right. Jared's out.
You come in tomorrow and the names will be switched.
Exactly.
No,
No,
that would
good,
mean that Joe would have to get here first.
Oh, God, no, that's a problem.
We know.
Yes.
You get a kick out of
Yeah,
people that
so
say off the record. Well, not really.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's on the record.
He's a character. When I first met him,
Likeable guy.
and then we started talking, it's like he had me in stitches.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, seems like a nice guy.
Carl, you don't need one, right?
No.
You don't.
Right, no.
I have to
Also,
remember,
got
because I
that.
don't remember.
So,
I'd remember when I got over there.
I just wanted to, go outside. Yeah, I just wanted to ask the board something before everybody leaves.
Well, I wonder if it's 50 degrees.
I don't think so.
No, it's okay, it's about schedule, basically. Yeah, Tom, thank you very much. Michelle, just as far as tomorrow's concerned, that tomorrow's attorneys,
Tomorrow's attorneys.
anybody want any coffee? Tomorrow's attorneys, and, pretty full day, Michelle? Pretty full day, or,
Pretty full, yes.
okay. Tomorrow's attorneys, there's more coffee here if you want. So, you happen to be out, I just wanted to see, so there's, did you get a chance to look at the schedule? She had sent, huh? So, next Thursday, we're not supposed to meet. Okay. And that's the 15th. Following Tuesday, the 20th. No hearing.
Right.
Or Monday,
So I
right?
wanted
Monday or
to-
Tuesday.
Well,
Well,
Monday
Monday's
is
a holiday.
holiday. Mike, just wanted to check something. I didn't know if you were leaving. Monday, the 19th, anytime there's a federal holiday.